Hello, how are you? Hope you all are fine. Because of the demand of the rules of debit credit, we are here to explain the rules of debit credit in English. Because in last video we explained it in Urdu, so most of the people said to me, please explain it in English. So that's why we are here to explain in English. So first of all, we discuss heads of account. There is the five heads of account: asset, expense, liability, revenue, income. So if the asset is increases, so it always be recorded in the debit. And the expense, if the expense is increases, it's also recorded at the side of debit. If we talk about the decrease in the asset, so it's record on the credit side. And expense is also recorded on the credit side because of the decreasing in expense or liability. So we talk about the liabilities which have to pay these. So if the liabilities increases, it's always record on the credit side as compared to the expense and the assets. And the revenue and income, it's just like a liability. In revenue and income is increases, it's also record on the credit side. And decreases in the liability, revenue and income, we always record on the debit side. You have seen in this paper. Here I want to explain some example of the debit and credit. As we know that the entry every entry, two accounts are hit. In this entry we have seen there's cash and expense account. So entry is the paid rent expense 500. The tenant paid the rent of this 500, in which we have seen that the two accounts are hit. First is expense and the second is asset. If the person is paid the rent amount is increasing. Rent is paid. If the rent is paid, rent is increasing. So according to the rules of debit credit, if the expense is increasing, it's always record on the debit side. So we have seen that the rent expense is the debit. So according to the rules of debit credit, if the asset is increasing, it's always record on the credit side. Or uh, uh, if the asset is decreasing, it's always record on the credit side. We have seen in the entries paid rent is expense. So if we paid the cash, if we paid the cash is decreasing. If the cash is decreasing, cash is the asset is decreasing, we record on the credit side. So entry will be rent expense debit and the cash credit. After that we want to see the entries of liability. According to the rule of debit credit, if the liabilities is increasing, it's recorded on the credit side, and decreasing is recorded on the debit side. So increase is purchase good on account. On account is the liability we have to pay in future. So we purchases 10,000. If we purchase on the credit, liability is on increasing trend. So we have seen the account payable is recorded on the credit side because of the increasing in liabilities, because we purchase goods on account. If we purchase goods on account, the liabilities is increasing. So interest will be account payable credit because the rule of the debit credit, if the liability is increasing, we record on the credit side. And after that I want to share the example of the capital account. We all know that if the capital is increasing, it's also recorded on the credit side. So the invest in the business 5,000. If the person invests in the business, it's always invest the cash. It's so cash is the asset. Cash is increasing in the business. So cash record on the debit side and capital is record on the credit side, because capital is also increasing on the website. If you have because the capital is also increasing on the business. If you have any question, so please ask. I know that there is an interruption between the videos. Sorry for all. Please like and subscribe this page.